Yeah, what's good, people? Welcome back to episode 2 of the survival challenge. Today, we're going to be taking out the second tree that's on my farm and maybe some other smaller trees that are just floating about, doing a couple of contracts as well. And we're going to see OG wipe out spectacularly. So, if you've seen the short, you'll know what's coming. If you haven't, stay peeled because it's funny. We're going to jump into a quick time lapse because no one wants to see me spend hours cutting down a tree and trying to get it to get sold and make some money. So I'm going to drop some tunes in and we're just going to vibe to them.
Showing off, don't wanna have to wait tonight. Wait tonight, better off. I'm gonna find my way tonight. Wait tonight, won't you talk to me? I wanna heal your sorrow. Won't you talk to me? We'll make a new tomorrow. Won't you talk to me? Showing off, don't wanna have to wait tonight. Wait tonight, better off. I'm gonna find my way tonight. Wait tonight, won't you talk to me? I wanna heal your sorrow. Won't you talk to me? We'll make a new tomorrow. Won't you talk to me?
As we finish up on this last little bit of tree branch and get it into the back of the truck. That's all the trees done so far. There are a couple still on the farm which are part of a different field. They're owned by someone else, which is slightly annoying. I'm still waiting to hear back from them on whether I can actually cut the trees down or not. But, you know, we'll see how we go with that. But that's two big trees taken out now, and we'll go and see how much we get for this one. Bearing in mind the first tree netted us around about 10 grand. I'm hoping we get around about the same this time round. But I'm doubtful because it's not as big of a tree. Even though we've got some extra bits in there, I'm hoping we hit 10G, but it's not looking likely because there's a lot less of the tree. So I'll sped this bit up just so we can get to the wood sales place a bit quicker. And if you've seen the short, great. If not, links in the description below. But this is where OG absolutely wipes out in the most spectacular fashion. Completely rolls the truck, loses the load of logs, and I just go past, give her a few toots. A few beeps of the horn because I'm not meant to help her. Here you see the log just do a little flick and then causes me to crash. I'm not entirely sure what happened or why it glitched out like it did. But I had to, undo the straps, and click them back in again so I could drive. I think the log just glitched out, got stuck in the floor. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but it was an easy fix. You can tell with my slow driving, I was trying to work out what just happened. As we pull up to the wood sales place, whether it's the sawmill or the logistics, always go to logistics because they seem to do better price than the sawmill. But I tried a different technique getting into the marked lines. Still took me forever, and it still wasn't great, as you can tell. I was hoping for a big payday, but we only ended up with just over 3,304. So nowhere near as much as the last tree, which netted us, what was it? Let me check my notes, 10,726. So nowhere near it. I always keep forgetting to do that. Always keep forgetting to complete my contracts. But we go look for another one, and I wanted to try something different, because I did think about doing the grass cutting, but it's a lot of effort. Well, not a lot of effort, more time than anything. Didn't have a plough, didn't fancy tethering, so I went and done some wood transport. Which, you'd be surprised, it all fits in the truck. I've got the map up because it was a new map, and I still have no idea where I'm going. Still after 2 episodes, still get lost on it. So having a GPS map up is actually really helpful. But with the power of editing, you're going to see this truck fully loaded with all the logs. Ta-da! There we go. And look how crazy that is. I think there was 15 logs in total. Maybe more. And driving them back was slightly scary. Because if I went too fast around the corner, I knew I was going to roll it, and I didn't want to do an OG. Yeah, we take our time down these hills and in the paths, but I was surprised that we managed to hold this many logs without too much of an issue. There's a pull up to sell this, or take this to the sawmill, not sell it, because we're making the money with COG there. Looks like she managed to get her truck filled back up and all the contents sold. And as we just check in to make sure it was the right place I was dropping the logs off to. Double checking, triple checking. But it was this moment that I realised that the sell point was not where I thought it would be. Honestly thought just unstrapping them and they'd disappear. But I found out the hard way that's not the case. I almost bought the sawmill. So it would have flashed up that I didn't have enough money. And it took me way longer than it should have done to work out how to sell the logs there. As you can tell, took a minute to look and realised that it was there. So I made 20 quid on top of whatever the contract was, which I think is about 3 grand. And with the power of editing, we're going to jump back to the farm and start tethering the grass. My thought process behind this was having bales of hay instead of just loose grass flying around would make it easier to store and make it easier for me to feed the sheep with. I made a few mistakes. I tethered the grass without actually having a windrower or a baler to start off with. So as we smashed through this, it was a case of I'd done it and then realised I made a mistake and needed to get some more equipment. Jumped to the store and we start shopping. Now with my budget of 29,000, I didn't have many choices. But I still looked at my options. Bearing in mind my little bit of grass was nowhere near big enough for the class one. Or any of them, to be honest. But I still had a look. I was checking the whips, working whips, and for 9 grand, I can't really complain too much. It's going to do me perfectly for the little bit of grass that I have. And unfortunately I couldn't change the colour, so we just got it as is. We took a drive down to the shop to go pick it up. In my trusty little tractor. Which I don't know how much longer it's going to last, but it's going to be a very, very big part of this series. And I forgot to open the gates as well, so I'll go open the gates first and then drive down to the shop. With the power of editing, it's all going to happen really quickly. I need to note as well that my driving is sketchy at the best of times. As you can probably tell, well, so far that I kind of veer off, almost hit trees, but I've not rolled it yet, which is fortunately for me something that OG has done and was quite comical. Yeah, this little trip to and from the dealership, you get used to it after a while. It's a nice easy drive. There's my new piece of equipment. Matches the colour of the tractor, to be honest. And again, with the magic powers of editing, we're back at the farm. And this windrower actually kind of came in clutch. Make sure I shut the gates when I'm going to do anything on the grass. We just kind of smashed through and got it all done pretty quickly. And it took me a moment to work out how to open it up and get it all up and running, but once it was going, I was off and doing my thing.
Living in the same routine, like the seasons I'm on repeat. It's a long way down. Trying not to follow suit. Don't like the color, I'll change the shade of it. I'm not afraid of it. I know I'm holding on to this, holding on. I know I'm change, but so can you. So can you. For too long about the mistakes. While I resent, I learned to hate. Forgot your names. Fear the struggle to follow on. Need to focus to prove you're wrong. I'm not wrong. I know I'm holding on to this. Holding on. I know I know I'm holding on to this. Holding on. Don't let me repeat it. Don't let me repeat it. I know I'm holding on to this. Holding on. Holding on. Holding on. Holding on. Holding on. Holding on.
So as we finished up with the windrowing, it looks a bit more neat, a bit more tidy. COG's running around, not sure entirely what she wanted at that moment in time. Probably to come say hi and check out what I went up to on my farm. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't run her over. Yeah, I windrowed it, so make it a bit easier to collect. Didn't have a baler at the time. My thought process was to throw the bucket on and just scoop it all up into my truck and my trailer. And now watch as I struggle to back this thing up. There's a couple of stumps I couldn't see because of the bushes. As you can see, I just rolled over them smoothly. But I was just getting everything tidied up a little bit before I start on my next my next project that I had planned for the farm. Being a little bit lazy, at the same time I was struggling to get the forks on. So I had kind of admitted defeat and actually went around and done it properly. Which if I'd done to start off with, I wouldn't have been messing around for a minute or two. I wanted to get them up and out of the way, so I've got no pallets yet, but I'll make use of the pallet forks. So there's these final little bits of tidying up on the farm. I will contemplate my next moves, my next major projects, and I will see you all in the next episode. Until then, take it easy. Peace.